ngayon, malinaw na inilatag po nila na hindi ito phase out pagdating ng December 31.
Pati kagabi sa pag-uusap po, ay hindi ka na pupwersahin na bumili ng modernized na mga minibus at payag si BBM sa pamamagitan ng rehabilitation ng ating public transport.
Nag-postpone tayo hanggang December. Sa palagay ko, sapat na panahon yon upang magawa na natin lahat ng kailangan gawin para ayusin ang sistema, pag-inspeksyon at pagpalit ng ating mga jeepney, ating mga transport workers.
From the nation's capital, all sides, all the time. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Maricel Halili. The big story tonight.
GPs and UB Express units will return to their usual routes starting tomorrow after transport groups Manibela and Piston announced that they are ending their nationwide strike. Transport group leaders Mar Valbuena, chairman of Manibela Transport Group, and Modi Florada, Piston president, announced that they are cutting short the planned week-long strike. This came after a meeting between Valbuena and Florada and Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cheloy Garafil.
In a statement, the Presidential Communications Office welcomed the end of the transport strike. According to the PCO, President Bongbong Marcos has also instructed the LTFRB and DOTR to conduct an extensive review of the Omnibus Franchising Guidelines, which outlines the PUV modernization program. The transport strike declared by transport groups was originally set from March 6 to March 12. On the first day of the strike, the government readied over 1,500 vehicles to ferry stranded passengers and deployed around 18,000 police personnel to ensure peace and order. Only a handful of jeepney drivers and operators, however, joined the strike nationwide based on the government's on-the-ground monitoring.
Let's discuss the matter further. We have with us via Zoom Live DOTR Undersecretary Steve Pastor. Sir, magandang gabi and welcome to The Big Story.
Good evening, sir, and to all of your viewers.
Good evening, sir. Kasama natin si Maricel Halili dito sa The Big Story. Sir, let me start off with this. Para lang po malinaw kasi we're getting confused dun sa ano na pagkasunduan kagabi dun sa meeting ng Manibela at ng Malacanang with Secretary Garafil. Could you run us through kung ano talaga yung mga napagkasunduan na, for example, the deadlines, also yung issue ng cooperatives at yung issue ng kung ano mga mga jeep ang pwede pang gamitin?
Yes, sir. For the meeting yesterday, DOTR did not attend or
Yes, sir.
was not present during the meeting. But we were informed by the Office of the Executive Secretary that Mar and Moody were in Malacanang po, and we understand that the Office of the Executive Secretary and Secretary Cheloy met with them po and relayed to them the guidance of the President po and the Department of Transportation as well as the LTFRB commit po to implement what was the guidance from the President po.
Pero Yusek, I think one of the issues that was raised during the meeting yesterday is that yung tungkol sa pagsanib sa kooperatiba. Because I think one of the concerns, paano naman yung mga meron lang owners ng mga single units? Kasi kawawa naman sila. If they cannot join the cooperatives by end of December, automatic phase out yung kanilang unit. So will this be one of the provisions that will be reviewed by the DOTR and LTFRB?
Yes, that's correct, Ms. Maricel. No, the purpose actually of extending, one of the purpose of extending the deadline po, based on the LTFRB Memorandum Circular 2023-13 is to allow the single unit operators po to join a cooperative. As such, it was extended until December to provide them more time to join and participate po with the consolidation. We have to clarify also that consolidation doesn't necessarily equate to changing their units right there and then po. So the very purpose of which is to create single entity so that they can optimize the operations in a particular route. Also, we will take advantage of the time until December 31 to revisit and review the provisions of the Omnibus franchising guidelines, as well as all other policy issuances related to the modernization program, released either by the Department of Transportation, the LTFRB, or even the Office of the Transport Cooperatives.
So, sir, I'm sorry pero mukhang merong hindi pagkakaintindihan eh kasi what we heard from Manibela, at least from their point of view, and this is quoting them na hindi na i-require yung yung consolidation. That was their understanding. Tapos I think today ang sabi ng LTFRB hindi kailangan pa rin. So mukhang hindi sila nagkaroon ng meeting of minds. Well sir, it's a good thing that you pointed it out eh. Hindi kasama yung DOTR kagabi. Yung LTFRB ba kasama kagabi sa meeting?
Insofar as I know, hindi rin po sila kasama po. But as I've said, we are in coordination with the Office of the Executive Secretary. And whatever mandate po that the Office of the President will give to the department, we will comply po. No? And ayun nga po, the commitment now is that habang hanggang December 31 po yung extension, we will review all issuances made by the department and our attached agencies, and also to reconvene the technical working group of the modernization program to discuss further the policy directions with regard to the implementation of the program.
Pero I think, sir, one of the issues pa na na-raise is yung tungkol sa pagkakaroon ng more than one cooperative sa isang ruta. Because I think that's also one of the concerns of Manibela dahil hindi sila makapag-create or makapag-organize ng sarili nilang cooperative once na meron ng existing cooperative doon sa specific route na yon. So, how do you intend to solve this, sir?
Iyon po yung kahalagahan ng dialogo na matagal na po naming binabanggit. Ano po, Ms. Maricel? Even before, as early as 2017 po, hindi naman po isang co-op lang po sa isang ruta. Depende po yan sa laki nung ruta na yun. It will depend really on the magnitude and the required number of authorized units that is needed in a particular route. So yung sinasabi po is that you form a cooperative depending po kung gaano kalaki yung ruta, and then we'll see. This is the very purpose of the dialogue that we're asking for. No? For us to explain to them the very nature of the program.
Well, sir, I think it's significant that you yourself pointed out hindi kasamang LTFRB at DOTR kagabi. So in effect, if I'm understanding you right, you will have to wait for guidance from Malacanang as to what was agreed upon last night and what the mission or the vision will be moving forward. If I can ask you, sir, Bale, what parameters are you, as far as you can tell, as of today, what parameters do you have in mind, or what parameters are you willing to negotiate with or negotiate about as far as meeting a middle ground with Manibela? Kumbaga, for example, ito nga, may hindi pagkakaintindihan sa consolidation, apparently. Also, yung deadline, will it go beyond December 31? Kasi ang intindihan ko kagabi sa Manibela, wala nang December 31. At pangatlo, yung rehabilitation ng mga jeep. From your perspective, sir, from your point of view, anong instructions?
As I've said po, we will revisit the existing guidelines of the modernization program, and we will invite all our stakeholders. This will include po civil society groups, transport operators, transport drivers, more importantly, commuters. So hindi lamang po Manibela, lahat po talaga. It will be an inclusive review together with our stakeholders so that the revisions, if any, will be holistic. Hindi po yung concern lang ng isang grupo, hindi po concern lang ng operator, kundi concern po ng lahat, pati lalong-lalo na po yung commuter natin. Dahil at the end of the day, sila po yung gusto nating makater dito na kumbaga may taas po yung antas ng serbisyo para po sa ating mga commuters.
Okay, maraming salamat po, DOTR Undersecretary Steve Pastor.
Meanwhile, let's get the side of the transport groups this time around. Joining us live via Zoom is Manibela President Mar Valbuena. Good evening, Sir Mar, and welcome to The Big Story.
Good evening po, Ma'am Maricel, and good evening, Sir Ed.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, pakilinaw na nga po yung yung naging pag-uusap ninyo kasi kami kahit ni
Medyo nalilito po
Bok
kami.
nalilito na kami kung ano ba talaga yung napagkasundoan because sinabi nga po ng LTFRB na mukhang pareho pa rin yung magiging laman ng provision. It's not clear kung magkakaroon ng extension. Pero what's your understanding based on your meeting yesterday, sir?
Ang sabi po ng Malacanang, kakausapin daw po nila ang DOTR at LTFRB para yung napagkasunduan kagabi ay yun po yung maidagdag o may amend doon sa mga bagong memorandum circular po na lalabas.
Which is?
Yes, sir. Baka pwedeng pakidetalye po para lang po malinaw from your perspective, from your point of view, ano po yung kinumit ng Malacanang sa inyo?
Ang sinasabi nila, unang-una, walang phase out. Siyempre, Sir Ed, yung existing na memorandum circular hanggat wala pong bagong lumalabas, in effect po siya. Tama naman po yun. So yung napag-usapan kagabi, klaro naman po doon na hindi mapi-phase out kasi yun po ang pinarating ng ating Pangulo at yung isang taon na palugit na ibibigay, hindi lamang po ito para doon sa pagko-consolidate kundi para pag-aralan po ulit at i-revisit po yung department order na Omnibus Franchising Guidelines.
Pero, sir,
Yung napagkasunduan, tinatanong po kami, wala na kasi hindi na, yung mga kausap po namin doon, talagang napatawag kami, ipinatawag po ako, pinatawag po kami nung kasamahan natin, na ang objective lang talaga ay mapakinggan kung ano po yung mga hinaing natin at mai-relay po sa DOTR at LTFRB. So kung baka hindi pa sila nagkakausap hanggang ngayon, malamang po wala pang direktibang bumababa po sa kanila. Pero malinaw po sa sinabi ng ating Pangulo na yung mga binanggit niya po katulad kanina ay direktiba na po yon. So baka po binabalangkas pa ng DOTR at LTFRB yung mga magiging provisions ng guidelines po na ilalabas. Hindi naman po porket nag-meeting kagabi, mapapalitan na po agad-agad yung memorandum circular. Siyempre babalangkasin pa po ito at sinasabi nga po natin na magkakaroon pa po ulit ng dialogo para kung ano yung mapagkakasunduan at ano yung mga ilalagay po ulit doon na provision. Tama po si ASEC Steve Pastor na depende dun sa magnitude ng mga sasakyan, yung volume ng sasakyan dun sa isang ruta. Kung kinakailangan pong magkaroon ng 2 hanggang 3 transport cooperatives. So, kailangan po ito na masusi talagang pag-aralan at reviewin. Doon pa lamang po tayo magka-come up kung ano po yung lalabas na panuntunan sa mga susunod po na araw o buwan.
Pero Sir Mar, balikan ko lang yung tungkol doon sa consolidation. Ano po yung commitment na ibinigay sa inyo ng Malacanang kahapon? Ito ba magiging voluntary pa rin for jeepney owners and jeepney drivers na maging bahagi ng consolidation ng cooperatives, or do you have the option na magstay as a single unit owner?
Good question, Ma'am Maricel. Kasi pagkatapos po natin ilatag yung ating mga hinaing sa kanila na nagkakaproblema dun sa consolidation, meron din naman pong mga nakakasunod. Yun ang sinasabi natin sa kanila. At yung mga nahihirapang sumunod o ayaw talagang mag-consolidate. So tinanong po tayo ng Malacanang kung okay lang ba sa atin, kung may gustong mag-consolidate at mag-cooperative o sumama dun sa cooperatives, o gusto nating manatiling single franchise owner. So yun po yung tinanong sa atin at sabi ko, mas maganda po yan talaga na may choices po yung ating mga operators. At yung consolidation, saan nga po ba talaga dapat, para saan nga po ba dapat talaga ito? Kasi yan hanggang ngayon hindi po natin maintindihan kung para dyan po ba sa route rationalization o doon po sa para makautang po kami o makaloan kami sa bangko. Hindi naman po kinakailangan na magsama-sama kami para maging efficient po yung transport system natin.
Sir, pahabol lang ako kasi ang problema ko po, baka mamroblema tayo o bumara tayo doon sa semantics eh. Pag sinabing hindi po tuloy ang phase out, kasi maraming pwedeng ibig sabihin yun eh. Phase out ng lumang jeep ba yun? Or phase out ng mismong konsepto ng jeepney? Ano pong ibig sabihin nung sinabi nyo napagkasunduan na hindi tuloy ang phase out ayon sa Pangulo? Ano po yung hindi i-phase out? Kumbaga, if I recall po correctly kasi di ba yung sa modernization program ang parameters diyan dapat tama ba not more than 15 years old yung vehicle, Euro 4 engine, nasa kanan yung entrance, pwedeng nakatayo at may certain dimensions at at may CCTV. So given those parameters po ba ano po? Sige po, go ahead.
Ano ko kasi, Ed, nung in-interview mo kasi ako, medyo pagod pa ako.
Yes, sir.
Galing
Yes, sir.
walong oras yata kami nag-meeting doon. So, siguro hindi ko na ipaliwanag na mabuti. Ganito lamang naman po yun, Sir Ed. So, walang phase out doon sa mga maaayos pa.
Opo.
Malinaw po yung sinabi natin. Pagka yung sasakyan dilapidated na, ang pakiusap ko, yun po yung una nating tulungan. Yun po yung sinabi ko sa Malacanang na pinopropose ko. Unahin na po natin baka wala itong kakayahan. Yung mga talagang hindi kayang ayusin yung sasakyan. Kasi kahit araw-araw mong hulihin, batasin, bakit kaya hindi pa rin maipaayos? Baka may problema. Tanungin din po natin. So sa akin pong pag-oobserba, baka po talagang walang kakayanan na baguhin talaga o upgrade yung kanyang sasakyan. Ang sabi ko sa kanila, ito po sana ang ating unang matulungan. Ngayon, wala po, ang tanong ko po, halimbawa ipe-phase out na po kami. Lahat po ba itong may expired ng 20 at itong December 31, 2023? May ready na po ba tayong ipalit dito? At may pondo po ba ang gobyerno para tugunan po ito? Ang sagot po sa atin, wala.
Ayun na.
Okay.
Ayun lang.
Halimbawa, Sir Ed, hindi kami nag-comply. Deadline na bukas. Wala pong nakapag-comply. Halimbawa, for example, 40,000 itong hindi nakapag-comply. At kailangan na nating i-modernize. May pera po ba ang gobyerno o may mapagkukuhanan po ba ng pondo para makapagpagawa po kami ng mga modernong units?
Yeah, yes, sir. Good point po yun. Sir, actually, isa pang punto na kumari ko lang i-raise nag-meeting po kayo kahapon with the Secretary Garafil pero wala palang kasamang kinatawan ng DOTR at saka ng LTFRB. So, medyo parang alanganin naman po ata na hindi kasama yung main regulators who will be, overseeing yung transition na ito.
Hindi po ako nagpatawag ng meeting, Sir Ed.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir.
hindi po ako yung nagko-command kung sino po yung makakasama doon sa meeting. Pero ang naintindihan ko, lahat yung ni-raise namin na concern, itinawag po sa DOTR. Kaya po kami inabot ng 8 oras po ata doon.
Sige po sir, makikibalita na lang po
Yes,
kami
sir.
kapag may update na. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Manibela President Marvel Buena.
Ingat po.
After the break, President Bongbong Marcos has high hopes that the ongoing cleanup drive for the oil spill in Oriental Mindoro will not take longer than usual. We'll look into that and more when the big story returns. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching the big story here on One News. Some concerned citizens have started pulling together sacks of hair in an effort to assist in the oil spill cleanup. But authorities warn that although hair can help absorb oil, it may be harmful to the environment. More updates on the oil spill response in this report by Mon Gualvez.
Waves slapped the Philippines Coast Guard's vessel and tugboat as they sailed toward the location of the sunken empty Princess Empress in Oriental Mindoro. The huge waves almost swallowing the containers on board the vessels. This has been the situation of PCG personnel since attempts were made to get to the oil tanker's wreck. But today, the sea was calm, finally enabling authorities to put oil spill booms and skimmers around areas where oil can still be seen on the water.
Ang boom po natin, una ay panangga po siya. Na habang sinasangga po siya, yun yung pagkakataon upang kolektahin yung maipon. Ang dagat po natin ay nagalaw. Kaya maaari rin po talaga, meron pa rin pong porsyento na makakaalpas. Ngunit at least karamihan mababawasan.
As of March 6, around 230 liters of floating oil have already been collected by the Coast Guard, as well as 15.87 cubic meters of oil-contaminated items. That's equivalent to 76 drums collected from the shoreline. Aside from oil-absorbent sheets and dispersant used by the Coast Guard, they encourage alternative ways to dispel the oil, like the bark and rind of coconuts. Because of this, a barber shop in Calapan City thought of collecting hair to help in the cleanup operations.
Nabasa ko sa ilang article na ang buhok ay meron isa siyang lipofolic material na ang property niya ay repellent siya sa tubig pero absorbent siya sa oil.
When they posted this on Facebook, somebody offered sacks of hair from different areas like Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, and other provinces. Hair is an absorbent material used during the oil spill in Guimaras in 2006. Studies say a kilo of hair is able to absorb up to 8 liters of oil. The Coast Guard appreciates the effort, but at the moment, they said they aren't in favor of using this.
Unang-una, yung buhok ay matagal matunaw. Pangalawa, meron siyang mga chemicals na inintroduce sa kanya yung sa parlor, alam naman natin mga chemicals na ginagamit, which are equally detrimental to the environment. So hindi po, we are discouraging that.
Because of the continuous exposure to the spilled oil, affected residents are getting sick. 43 cases have been logged so far. All of them experienced headaches, stomach aches, and difficulty of breathing.
Ay, yung sentido pong ganito ay parang nakakalula. Hindi po makapagtrabaho, nakaupo lang.
The province has already encouraged voluntary evacuation for those living along the shorelines. The government is also prepared to implement forced evacuations for senior citizens and people with comorbidities as soon as new results from the air and water testing come out. Previous testings have already shown that air and water in the area flunked when it comes to standards. The PCG is now gearing up for a massive and simultaneous cleanup set on Friday, together with the contractor hired by the owner of the sunken tanker. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Experts say the cleanup of the Mindoro oil spill could take 6 months to a year, but this depends on sea conditions and how much oil would escape from the sunken Princess Empress. But for President Bongbong Marcos, this can be done in just a couple of months. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza with the details.
No more than 4 months. This is how long President Bongbong Marcos believes the oil spill cleanup will take. In a chance interview in Quezon City, the president noted that the extent of damage in Oriental Mindoro isn't as bad as the oil spill in Guimaras back in 2006. More than 70 coastal villages have been affected by the spill from the sunken empty Princess Empress.
Kasi yung Guimaras na oil spill, 4 na buwan bago na clean up eh. Siguro naman this time, kasi mas bawas ng konti ang oil spill, ay mas mabibilisan natin. Kahit na hindi sa 1 buwan, hindi naman siguro natin paabutin ng 4 na buwan.
The national government has also vowed to compensate fishermen whose livelihood were affected by the oil spill.
Kasi yung mga mangingisda, hindi makapangisda ngayon. Bawal mangisda. Kaya wala silang hanap buhay, pinaltan natin ng Cash for Work program dahil sila ngayon ang maglilinis.
Private companies and the Japanese government have also extended assistance in the cleanup drive. Meanwhile, the government is still pushing through with its Kadiwa program, which seeks to provide cheaper farm and fishery products. President Marcos was present in the launch of the Kadiwa ng Pangulo para sa Manggagawa program at the TUCP grounds in Quezon City. The president wants to open more Kadiwa stores, even as prices of some basic commodities have started to come down. Inflation remains elevated in February, prompting the government to form an interagency panel solely to address the problem. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, We Are One News.
The big story will return. Keep it here in One News.
You're still watching The Big Story here on One News. The national government is banking on cable TV providers to fast-track the expansion of digital services in the country. During the 23rd International Cable Congress and exhibit, President Bongbong Marcos commended the role of telcos and cable TV providers in delivering timely information to the public, especially amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, for its part, Signal TV says it is working hard to reach unserved and underserved areas.
During these difficult times, you served as a communications conduit for food distribution, purchase and transport of essential commodities, the facilitation of health and telemedicine concerns in the rural areas, amongst others.
We will continue to do our role. We will continue to provide the right information, facts, and the best entertainment to everyone.
Before we go, President Bongbong Marcos got to live out his Top Gun dreams after getting a chance to try out one of the military's new fighter jets. President Marcos flew on board the F-A-50 fighter jet on Tuesday upon the invitation of the Philippine Air Force. The flight demonstration seeks to test the capabilities of the military's new air assets. The president said they did not fly over the West Philippine Sea, but still, he said he enjoyed the experience.
Hindi kami masyadong lumapit doon. We were along the coastline lang kami. Pero matagal ko nang actually gustong gawin yun, pero hindi ako naging piloto. Kaya nag-take advantage na ako. We can see how important this increase in our capabilities is going to be, especially in the defense of our maritime territory.
And that's the big story tonight. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. You can also log on to onenews.ph for more in-depth analysis. I'm Ed Lingao.
The Big Story is also available via Signal Play app. Make a free account now at signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Maricel Halili. Stay safe, Philippines.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.